What's up, everybody there in YouTube land? We got some upper control arms that we're gonna put on this 2008 FJ Cruiser, and I just got them special from Amazon, 130 bucks. I'll put the link in the description there at the bottom. Take a look at that. I didn't want the greasable fittings in the bottom. These are heavy duty rubber, they'll last plenty long. Or it's a big thick rubber cap. I've already greased them. That's the ball bearing. It's got gussets right here, here, and here. And these are just a no-name brand. They really look like the Freedom Off-Road ones. Like I said, I paid $129. I think you can get them cheaper on eBay, but I wanted that extra insurance with my account on Amazon, so I got them on Amazon. And right off the bat, they're more than I expected. Heavy duty steel. You see my fingers don't even wrap all the way around, and it's got some girth to it and some weight. Definitely a lot stronger than they need to be. But the reason why I got them is because they're supposed to accommodate a 2 to 4 inch lift. And what we lose when we lift trucks is caster. That's that line going from here to there. Now a positive caster would be like that. And so as you lift it, you start to lose that positive caster. And the effect of losing positive caster is when you're going down the road, it feels like the truck wants to dart, you know? Yeah. So you're gonna get plenty of positive caster with this one. I don't know how many degrees, but it's gotta be better what we're doing. I'm in the garage right now working on this this job because it is raining outside. I got my chickens out there free ranging. They don't care that it's raining. They want that food. So I'm gonna get on this, and I'm gonna bring you in when the details get juicy. Whew. Wow, that was easier than I thought. Let me bring you in. When I mean easy, it was so damn easy to take off this passenger side. For a Denver truck, I thought it'd be hell, but really, there's your bolt. A little bit of surface rust, but man, and you got some surface rust right there. They must have really taken care of this. Must have been garage kept because I'm the second owner of this truck. It was just super easy. I cracked this nut on this side and then just slid it out. Didn't have to move anything. Now on the driver's side, I think it's a little different, but wow, super easy. Let me show you the UCA and what it looks like in comparison. Now I got them lined up flush right here and flush right here. Step back and look. Now look how that, see the left side would be pointing, the left side there is the rear of the vehicle, and the right side would be facing the front bumper. Now look how the left side ball joint is offset to the OEM. Maybe about ½ an inch. Really just looking at it, yeah, about ½ an inch. And yeah, it's a little different design there. The top one kind of angles up. This one angles up too. You just can't tell as much because it's flat. This is a big block here, and you can really tell the angle because it's so thick. Yeah, man, that's gonna be awesome. Let's put it in. Oh, and by the way, this ball joint that you get is very stiff, which is good. Here's this one, 186,000 miles. I mean, I can use my pinky and just fold it down, you know. There's no noise, no clunking, but you can tell it's done its job. Yeah, so we got it installed, and it was just as easy as taking it apart. You got this bolt, which is a 19. You get the 10. These come with a little stud that comes up so you can put your nut on there. And you got your other 19 and your 17s for your sway bar length. The reason why I brought you in here on this part of the video is there's a 12mm bolt there that's notorious for rounding off. It's just, I don't know, I guess it's just the weather that does it. So if you ever come across that problem, here, let me release this. You can take the nut, see the nut right here, and just slice it. You got to be careful not to hit your brake line. And slice it with an angle grinder. It's where you get a nice flat surface, and then get you some flat vice grips like that and grip it real tight as you can, and just turn it. And it's coming loose. So I'm gonna get this taken off because I want to move this caliper because I have new studs. They're a bit longer. See, these are kind of short. Now the ones in the rear for the spacers, the rotors aren't as thick, so they reach all the way out to the nut. I've been running like this for 3 years, still no problem. Look at that. So I'm gonna see if I can punch these out and put in the extended ones. Well, I got the 2 back bolts out. Those are 17. Of course, you got to take that one out so you can flex the line. But I got it hanging now, and now I can get to my lugs. To take the disc off, since it's been on there for so long, I sprayed PB Blaster around there and on the inside of each little crack that was on the rotor. And then you take a big punch like that up against this part of the rotor. Don't hit the disc or the pad surface or the threads, just in case you don't want to damage it unless you finally get it out. But you want to put like a big punch right here. Say it's on the truck like that. This one's kind of like too big. It's the only long one I got. And take your sledgehammer and just BAM! And then go to this side, BAM! Just keep banging the shit out of it. BAM, BAM, BAM! And then finally it'll just go, Dirt. And I'll tell you that it's loose. Now, it's nice to look in there. Maybe I'll do some cleaning. I don't know. It's kind of funky. A lot of can't get down to the actual surface. It's pretty nasty. I got a light that when you touch it, it turns off. Anyways. I really ain't got no reason to clean that. But yeah, let me get them other lugs and see if they're longer. Well, that was a waste of time. I finally got it matched up, and they say they're extended. Yeah, they're extended all right. Not quite the 1/4 inch I need. That sucks. I'm gonna send these back to freaking Amazon, get my money back. There's no point in knocking these out for 1 extra thread. Pain in the butt. Oh well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you try. Let me go ahead and get you if you're watching this now and you're probably wondering, what's the length? Because you can go online and man, they tell you a whole bunch of different numbers. Let me get my gauge out, my caliper right now, and measure that for you. Yeah, so I got my caliper. I had to go back in the shop and get it. Got it zeroed out. Can you see that? Yeah. So let's go ahead and get an actual reading off of this sucker. I'm going to give you 2 readings from the top of the head to the end of the bolt. I bet you it's 46. 46 millimeter. Now, from where the knurls start, that's going to be kind of hard because you can't reach the end of the bolt. What can I do? I can kind of estimate. Yeah, it's about, without the head, total thread, let's see. Are you watching me? Let's see, I got it all the way up against right here. Push this in a little more. That's about, if it was touching, 41 millimeters of thread. So you're looking at 41 millimeters of thread. Just do this one more time. This one says 45.7. 45, 46 total. But yeah, 41 millimeters of thread. So if you want to reach out more, if you got a spacer, you obviously want more than 41 millimeters. You want it to be like, man, 48 millimeters of thread, that would be good. And that's what they had advertised, but that's not what it was. I think that was the entire length. But no, you need about 48 millimeters of thread. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this rotor back on, clean this up, clean up the threads, put the rotor back on, put my spacer back on, put the brake back on, put the tire back on. Then I'm gonna go have a shake on the inside because my wife makes killer shakes. Then I'm gonna go knock out the other. All right, so here we are. We're all the way on the ground, no jack sitting on the tire. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, just above the 6, really? That's a compressed freaking spring. I gotta get my lift, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't wait to ride these suckers out. Oh, look at that boot. That looks pretty gnarly. It's all biting on itself. Rawr. Yeah, it's too high in the front now. Shoot. Way too high. Not no bro-dozer. Yeah, let me change out the other side, then I'm gonna ratchet these things down there. Yeah, so after test driving, man, what a difference. I mean, the shocks are a little firm because now the upper control arms just gave it like another 1.5 inch lift. So I'm gonna bring that down a little bit, soften up the ride, give it more up and down motion. But it's taken away about 80% of that wandering that you would get, you know, from having, you know, lifted coils or coilovers. So yeah, I'm real happy with it. About to pull up in the garage right now. I got to bring this front end down about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, something like that. Yeah, right now it's sitting at 38.5. Looks like it came down a little bit. Yeah, so giving it some thought, they did settle down the front probably about 1 inch. They settled in about 1 inch on a 5-mile ride, which means that it might settle down another 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch at the most. So right now I'm sitting at 38.5 in the front. I think 40.5 in the back. Yeah, 40.5. That's right where I want it to. There's not too much angle on the CV axle. It's not going to wear out the boots like crazy. So with that said, you know, real happy about it. I like the way it sits. It's a hell of a lot firmer in the front. You don't have that wandering anymore. It took about 80%, 75-80% of that away. You still feel a little bit, but it's not like, you know, you have to worry about someone else driving your truck and crashing it. That's a look how she sits right now. So we're sitting at 38.5. Stock height up to this fender is 35. So that's like 3.5 in the front. And I think a 4.5, 5 inch in the back lift. And that's how I want it, because when I pull a trailer, it pretty much levels it out. So there you go. You've seen the details of the before and after, the stock versus the aftermarket upper control arms. I really recommend them if you got a 4Runner, Tundra, or one of these. Stick around, watch out for some new videos coming. Next I'm going with some Bilstein shocks. They're not going to be your run-of-the-mill shocks for a FJ. They're going to have more travel. And more travel means I have to order some that are made for a Jeep Wrangler. But I'm going to make my own adapters to fit on here. And the reason why is so when the back end flexes, that shock can extend and compress with the amount of flex given. You know, because the Bilsteins for this, or if you get any rough country or anything like that, the travel is limited, and I don't like that. And I'll show you how to do that coming up. Also, I'm going to make some bump stops for the rear axle. Just going to get some square tubing, probably like 2 inch by 2 inch or 3 inch by 3 inch, something like that. I got to make some measurements. But I'm going to do that next. Y'all like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Appreciate it. Y'all take it easy.